Browsing the internet on a mobile phone is generally more difficult to do than it is on a PC. One of the areas where browsing the internet on a mobile phone is really difficult is whenever people have to enter text. I've already talked before about the differences between mobile phone keypads and PC keypads. But just remember that people make a lot more errors and they're a lot slower when trying to enter text using a mobile phone. One of the areas in mobile commerce where people have to enter a lot of information is during the checkout process, where people are asked about their personal details, their billing address, delivery address, and credit card details. Now, if you have e-commerce on your PC site, then you probably have customer accounts where people have registered. So when people come to your website using a mobile phone, allow them to log into those accounts and retrieve the details they previously used, such as previously used delivery addresses. This will save them a fair amount of text entry. Now, if you do have a registration form for mobile users, make sure that registration form is optimized for mobile phones. What some websites do is, when it gets to the really tricky bit, the checkout process or registration process, they send customers to the PC website, which is where they're going to struggle because it is a lot harder to use those screens, those pages rather, on a mobile phone screen. So that's one way of minimizing the effort required for mobile phone users. Another way is to remember the things they've done and allow them to repeat those things very easily. So for example, when people come to eBay, what they do a lot of the time is search for the same products again and again, hoping to find one that they're likely to be able to get at a cheap price. eBay has a strip going across the page towards the bottom for recent searches, so someone can tap on something they searched for before, and the search will come up. The results come up for that straight away. So it's just easier than having to go to the search box and try to type in the name of the product very frequently. So there are not many good examples of websites or apps that do this, but eBay is one example that I wanted to show you. So for any web page or any process on your mobile optimized site, really think about what little things you can do to try and reduce the amount of effort required on those pages. One of the barriers for mobile e-commerce, one of the big barriers, is fears about security. People have various reasons for this. They even worry about things like, is it less secure because my mobile phone is using radio waves and someone can hack into those somehow. They worry about, is my mobile phone as a device as secure as a PC is? Is my mobile browser as secure as a PC browser is? So of course you'll do whatever you can do to make your mobile site secure. But the other thing you need to do is to give people reassurances to make them aware of what you're doing. So there's some ways you can do this, such as on the left here we have putting in keywords into the calls to action to highlight to people that you're taking security seriously. So for example, Travelodge here has a proceed to secure booking page button. The other thing you can do is add messaging to the key pages. So in the middle here we have your details are 100% secure. So people will see that messaging and it will trigger in their minds the fact that you are taking security seriously. Now it's important to back that up and to show that you can back that up. So Travelodge, as you can see on the right here, have a page which is all about security, which talks about all the things they've done to make their mobile optimized website secure. So having a page like that means that users can come here, read it, and feel confident that they tried to create a secure mobile site. Now, as well as giving reassurances, the other thing you can do is give alternatives. Some people will get to a certain point in the mobile checkout process and then they might get scared and think, I'm not sure if I want to give my credit card details on the website. Or some people might never intend to actually put in their credit card details onto the mobile optimized site. They might just be looking to look at the products. But ideally you want to convert that sale whenever they're interested in a certain product. So one thing you can do is to give alternative ways of paying. So for example, Barnes & Noble, the US bookstore, allow people, you see on the left here, to choose their payment method by credit card or pay by phone. And then when they get to the end of the checkout process and they get their order number, as we see on the right here, they also get instructions for how to pay by telephone, and people will often feel more secure doing that than doing it over a mobile website. The other thing you can do is tie in with third parties who have other payment methods, such as PayPal, which again people might feel secure using. Now, if you do have the option that you give people to call you from the mobile website, one of the things you can do is add a button to the page that, when clicked or tapped, automatically dials that number using the mobile phone. Mobile phones coming out with a lot of useful functionality now that you can tap into to try and give a good user experience, especially applications which have access to more of the device functionality. So for example, if you have a store finder, then you can make that store finder automatically open the customer's map application on their mobile phone. If they've got satellite navigation or GPS, then that will help them find where your store is. So there's lots of functionality coming out that you can try to tap into. Now, so far, the guidelines I've been given, the guidelines given you, haven't focused on just mobile websites or mobile applications, because I think the best practice guidelines often cross over. But I wanted to talk about one which is really key for mobile apps now, and that's to follow device conventions. We have on the left here an app that's on the iPhone. It's one of Apple's default apps that comes on the phone as standard. It's their App Store, and you can see at the bottom of the screen they've got this black strip which is the key navigation. Now you can see in the apps by Ocado and JCPenney that they both also have this navigation strip going across the bottom of the screen. And because they've done this, when their customers use their app, they'll instantly know where the navigation is, and that it isn't. They'll identify that it is the navigation, they'll know where it is, and they'll be able to use it because they've used something similar on the device's own apps. And with apps, more so than mobile websites, it's important to follow these conventions because people expect it more with an application or a PC software. So when people come onto the apps like the Ocado or JCPenney, they'll know how to use the navigation straight away, and it will be like second nature to them. Similarly, following a standard style of page layout, with these strips going across the width of the screen, means that people recognize that straight away.